Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about how the Augment item protection actually works, because in yesterday's video I saw there were a lot of people very confused on how it actually works. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to get out of the way is, where do you even get the Augment item protection? There are two main ways to obtain this item. The first one is through the treasure shop. So when we go to the shop over here and go to the treasure shop, the Star Gem version, it will occasionally pop up under the premium tab. I have never seen it in the free to play tab, unfortunately. So this means you do need to be a premium member in order to purchase it through the treasure shop. However, does this mean that you are totally screwed as a free-to-play player? No, because you can actually go to the item recycle over here, and if you scroll down a little bit, you're gonna see right here there's the Augment item protection, which you can exchange with 40 AC scratch items or 40 SG scratch items. So remember the 80 free pulls that we all got a couple days ago? Well, hopefully you've been doing that, and if you do have an abundance of dupes, you can actually exchange them all into NSG recycle badges. So you can see over here I have 332 of these NSG recycle badges. I could turn in 40 of them and get one of these Augment item protections. So that is how you obtain these Augment item protections, in case you were wondering. The next most frequently asked question was, why didn't I do multiple augments at the same time? So as we can see here, I have a Stia Domino as well as a Dreadkeeper 4, and I'm going to use one capsule of each, so it's only 12% success rate for the Dreadkeeper and 14% success rate for the Stia Domino. Now if you're wondering why the percentages are so high for only using one capsule, it's because at the time of this recording, I do have the limited time boost of augmentation success rate plus 5%. So as you can see here, I've put the Dreadkeeper 4 as well as the Stia Domino over here. I'm going to click on start a fix. I'm going to say yes. And over here, I'm going to use a 20% booster as well as an Augment item protection. So the final result is there's a 32% chance of me getting the Dreadkeeper 4 as well as a 34% chance of the Stia Domino to stick on this armor piece. Now, the reason why I do not recommend gambling multiple augments at the same time is because if any of these fail, none of these augments will stick. So we currently have a Stia Domino as well as a Dreadkeeper 4. Let's say, for example, the Dreadkeeper 4 is a success. It sticks onto the armor. If the Stia Domino fails, it will refund the Stia Domino as well as the Dreadkeeper 4. So even though the Dreadkeeper 4 was a success, it will not stick on the armor because I have the Augment item protection, which will refund all of the Augment capsules which are supposed to be consumed, which included the Dreadkeeper 4. So this is why you do not do multiple augments with Augment item protection, because if you fail any of them, all of them get refunded. So I'm gonna waste one of my Augment item protections here just to showcase it to you guys, but please don't do this because this is a very dumb thing to do. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna click yes, and hopefully one fails. So you can see over here that the Stia Domino was a success, however the Dreadkeeper 4 failed, right? So what you're going to notice is the Stia Domino is not actually going to stick onto the armor, and it's going to refund me the Stia Domino. So as you can see here, even though the Stia Domino was a success, it refunded it as well as the Dreadkeeper 4, however it did consume the 20% booster as well as the Augment item protection. Now something else to keep note of is it also did not consume the augments that these two augments were supposed to replace. So remember, I replaced my Might 4 with the Stia Domino as well as the Dreadkeeper 4 over the Dreadkeeper 3. But because I have the Augment item protection active, it actually refunded it and just reverted it back to normal, so it does not become a blank slate, which is very, very useful. But hopefully this clears things up, because I know these Augment item protections are very, very expensive and a pain in the butt to get. So when you do have them, please be very, very careful and only gamble one augment at a time, because the worst feeling ever would be, let's say that the Dreadkeeper 4 was a success, but your second augment was a failure and it refunds everything, and you're sitting there going like, oh my goodness, I just wasted one of these Augment item protections. Now another thing I want to remind everyone before anyone starts augmenting their stuff because of that extra 5% boost, I personally do not think it is worth augmenting this entire week. The reason I say this is because next week you'll actually be able to obtain 10 Mastery 4 capsules as well as 10 of each Gigastat 4 capsules from the event shop. So my advice is simply wait for next week, get your 10 Mastery 4 capsules, get your 10 Gigastat 4 capsules, and then just use that to guarantee the augment onto one of your armors or your weapons or whatever you need augmenting. Do not be greedy like me and try to gamble unless you can afford it. But you guys saw in yesterday's video, I failed a lot. I failed a total of 5 times before this Mastery 4 capsule actually stuck, so it was quite a lot of star gems down the drain. I believe it's a total of 600 star gems in order for me to gamble this one Mastery 4 onto this weapon. For normal people, 600 star gems is a lot of star gems. I do not recommend gambling unless you are extremely lucky or you can afford it.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except